Dexter is a cop by day and serial killer by night. He kills people who have escaped the justice system. Rita is Dexter's girlfriend, but she also has 2 young children from her previous marriage. One day at work, Dexter is called to a scene involving mutilated bodies, but no blood. Later he receives a phone call from an anonymous source who tells him about the eye-struck killer, someone who cut up his victims with precision and left them in weird places, all without spilling any blood. Meanwhile, Deborah's shift at work is getting more challenging because she wants to get into the homicide department. Subscribe to watch recaps of the next episode of Dexter. Share and like this video with other fans of Dexter.
Dexter assists detectives Batista and Dokes in investigating the murder of an officer. The murdered officer was working undercover investigating drug baron Carlos Guerrero. Dokes is personally involved in the case, since he was having an affair with the officer's wife, who was also attacked. Meanwhile, Deborah discovers the refrigerated truck in which the ice truck killer dismembers his victims. Deborah is promoted by her superior, Lieutenant Maria LaGuardia, to the homicide department. Inside the truck, Deborah, Batista, and Dexter find a block of ice with 5 fingertips in it, left deliberately by the ice truck killer. Subscribe to watch recaps of the next episode of Dexter. Share and like this video with other fans of Dexter. Dexter is coming back in November 2021. Get your knives out.
The ice truck killer takes another victim. Because of this, the missing security guard, Tony Tucci, gets a lot of attention as a potential suspect. Meanwhile, Rita's ex-husband's drug dealer visits and confiscates her vehicle because she owes a lot of money. She has to take the bus to and from her job as a hotel receptionist. Dexter has flashbacks to his first kill and nurse who was euthanizing Harry Morgan. Elsewhere, Sergeant Dokes continues to harass Guerrero until a group of renegade cops decide to take matters and go after Guerrero themselves. Subscribe to watch recaps of the next episode of Dexter. Share and like this video with other fans of Dexter. Dexter is coming back in November 2021. Get your knives out.
As the hunt for ice truck killer continues, posed body parts are discovered. They appear to be the calling cards of an increasingly impatient killer. The ice truck killer escalates his killing spree. He leaves body parts of his latest victim at sites connected to Dexter's childhood. This leads Dexter to confront his dark personal history. As Halloween approaches, Rita kidnaps a barking dog. It was keeping her children up at night. She gives it to a loving family. Meanwhile, Lieutenant LaGuardia seeks to comfort the mother of the latest ice truck killer victim. Dexter finds the victim mutilated but alive and strapped to a table for Dexter to kill. Instead, Dexter reports the crime scene anonymously to his sister. The pressure on Sergeant Dokes escalates when Guerrero's associates begin following him.
Rita's colleague's fiancé was illegally immigrating from Cuba. Now, the fiancé is missing. So Rita asks Dexter to investigate the problem using his police connections. So Dexter investigates Jorge Castillo, a salvage yard owner. He discovers that Castillo is murdering smuggled immigrants if they cannot pay for their freedom. Dexter discovers that Castillo's wife is involved in the murders. So Dexter kills both of them. Then, he dumps their bodies in the ocean. He frees their Cuban prisoners. A person watches Dexter from the trunk of a car in the yard. But Dexter does not notice this. Meanwhile, Deborah and Dokes question Tucci about the ice truck killer. Through Tucci, they find their first bit of tangible evidence.
The body of one of Dexter's previous female victims has been found, despite Dexter's having thrown both of the corpses into the ocean. A young Cuban boy had witnessed the previous night's events. Dexter dismisses his colleagues' leads that could direct them towards him. Eventually, Dexter frames the husband, whose body is still missing, with his wife's murder. The young Cuban witness describes Jesus Christ rather than Dexter. During this time, Rita dissuades her abusive husband, Paul, from attending their daughter's birthday party after he is released early from prison. Subscribe to watch recaps of other episodes of Dexter. Share and like this video with other fans of Dexter. Dexter is coming back in November 2021.
Dexter must deal with Rita's menacing husband. Deborah goes on a date with the prosthetics expert. He made prosthetic legs for an eye-struck killer survivor. Deborah and Angel are investigating the eye-struck killer. They discover a familiar name with speeding violations, near the scene of the eye-struck killer's third murder. Dexter investigates Sergeant Oakes's knife victim. He already knows the killer's identity but needs time to locate him. The eye-struck killer is finally apprehended, but Dexter doubts that they have caught the correct man. Lieutenant LaGuardia sees the arrest of Perry as a way to further advance her political career. She feels betrayed when her superior, Captain Matthews, takes the credit. An unexplained suicide of a wealthy and powerful woman leads Dexter to suspect that her psychologist, Dr. Emmett Meridian, may have killed her. But he gets a shock when a visit to the suspect reveals dark secrets from Dexter's past. Elsewhere, Rita becomes warmer towards her ex-husband Paul, who claims to have reformed. She wants to become more intimate with Dexter, who is afraid of physically consummating their relationship, but then he is able to have sex with her. Once they have finished, he is worried that he might have scared her. Meanwhile, Deborah is falling in love with her new boyfriend Rudy. At the end of the episode, the audience finds out that Rudy is the ice truck killer, while unknown to the characters.
Dexter learns that his biological father is Joe Driscoll. Dexter thought Joe had been long dead, but Joe has only recently died. Joe has also left all of his belongings to Dexter, including his house. Dexter travels to the house with Rita. Deborah and Rudy follow Rudy's advice and arrive there later to assist Dexter in cleaning out the house. Dexter suspects Joe's death to be murder. Flashbacks to Dexter's childhood show him questioning his foster father Harry about his real parents. Dexter finds that Mr. Driscoll donated some of his blood to the young Dexter for surgery. Later, one of Joe's neighbors recognizes Rudy as a cable repairman. Rudy was Joe's last visitor. After Dexter, Rita, Deborah and Rudy left, Rudy returns to the elderly woman's house as the cable repairman again. Meanwhile, Paul becomes abusive again when Rita prevents him from seeing their children. Dokes is under investigation after shooting a fleeing suspect. Batista realizes that the evidence doesn't fit Dokes' version of events. Subscribe, like and share this video and press the bell icon to be notified as soon as the next video is released. Dexter is returning in November 2021. Dexter is sent to investigate a horrific blood-soaked crime scene, which he usually enjoys, but is taken aback by a long-suppressed memory of a childhood trauma instead. Rita is charged with assaulting Paul and could lose her children in a custody battle. When Dexter finds out, he decides to remove Paul from his and Rita's lives, but by framing him rather than killing him. Angel investigates a hunch regarding the ice truck killer about the amputee fetish. He turns to Rudy for help but ends up getting stabbed in the parking lot. Meanwhile, Rudy displays a growing interest in getting to know Dexter, particularly in the lately awoken trauma he had recently experienced. Subscribe, like and share this video and press the bell icon to be notified as soon as the next video is released. Dexter is returning in November 2021. The ice truck killer strikes again, leaving a real nightmare before Christmas at Santa's cottage. Sergeant Dokes becomes more suspicious about Dexter after his ambivalence about Batista's survival. Dexter finally finds he is connected to the ice truck killer over a past case involving Harry Morgan and the bloodbath crime scene in 1973 involving Dexter's biological mother. Lieutenant Maria LaGuardia braces herself as Captain Matthews blames her for the department's failure to find the ice truck killer and he has her replaced. Rudy and Deborah spend some quality time together, and Rudy proposes marriage to the smitten detective. Rita decides to take her children, Esther and Cody, to visit Paul, who has been sent back to prison. Dokes and LaGuerta begin to suspect that Rudy is the ice truck killer, while Dexter finds a suspicious picture of the shipping container where his mother was killed. Dokes begins tailing Dexter, convinced that he is somehow connected to the ice truck killer. A call from her ex-husband makes Rita suspicious of Dexter and his behavior. LaGuerta's replacement, Lieutenant Esme Pascal, arrives and takes over the ice truck killer investigation. Dexter recalls that Rudy is in fact his biological brother, whose real name is Brian Moser. Brian intends to kill Deborah with Dexter in a reunion with his true family, but Dexter stops him. As the police close in, Brian escapes and Dexter is left with Deborah, appearing to have saved her. The same night, Brian breaks into Dexter's apartment and attempts to stab Deborah, but Dexter captures him. After an emotionally charged conversation, Dexter slices his brother's throat and leaves him upside down to drain, staging it as a suicide, while wondering what would happen if everyone knew the truth about him.